Hello guys and welcome back to TNT Madness. Today we're going to be looking at something very simple for the one reason that I have got my head 10 feet deep into every book I can find. So I thought I'd do something very simple because I'm doing all my exams at the moment and they should be all done in a couple of weeks. But at the moment I don't have that much time, so I'm going to be doing something very simple, and this is inspired to me by a chap called Mumbo Jumbo, because this is pretty much based on his video where he made a pop-up defense PvP station, but he didn't exactly do it right. He sort of made it so that the player could be hit just as much as all the other players, except he was mobile, so he can move at all, but everyone can move around him and he could still hit them, but they could still hit him just as easily. So what I've done is made it really tiny, very simple, and the one fact is you can hit them, but they can't hit you. So if we take a look at this, if we just pop up on the top here, we can see that if we press the button here, it will get lodged down here, and if you have a player up here, then they can't hit you, but you can hit them. Currently you can't, but what you can do is you can jump up, and then you'll briefly hit the top here, but then you can get your sword and just fire on out and hit them as you go here. And the great thing about this is you are completely concealed, and no one can hit you, and you always get critical hits. Another thing is, there is another design feature here, is if you jump here and hit the button, you can make it so that a piston can push up here so you can jump out and everything retracts. The only problem with that is that if you aren't playing on factions, and factions is where people claim land and all that, so if you're playing in your base and you build this, and then they can't hit the button, but if you're playing on a random server and you're having PvP for fun, then they can press the button and still hit you. So recommend using this on factions just for that one reason. But that's mostly what this is used for, and let's just take a quick look at the redstone. So if we take a quick look at this, the first thing you can realize is this thing is extremely small, and excluding the black blocks, all you have is just a simple contraption where you press the button, this redstone torch deactivates, which is powering both these sticky pistons, so then for 10 ticks these two pistons retract, and then you can just stand on here, and by the time you fall into the bomb, they would have re-extended, and then you can then go ahead and start waving your sword at them until they die. So as you can see, the major benefit for this is it is extremely small and extremely simple. So the great thing about this is you can just plonk it down pretty much anywhere in your base and you should be completely fine. So anyway, now let's go on to the tutorial, even though it probably won't be much. So anyway, here's the redstone. As you can see, it is extremely simple. If you stand up here, press the button, you'll of course fall. And what makes this so simple is because it only uses a few pieces of redstone, and it can be extremely small, so it can fit in just about anywhere. So if you press the button here, all that will happen is this torch at the back will turn off, which will retract these two sticky pistons, which then will of course make this flush with the wall, and then by the time you hit this block of the bomb, which is where you'll be standing, it will be extended again, and then you can go ahead and whack your opponent. Or if you think they're way too overpowered, you can just hide in here or sit in here, or add some other fang-dangled base mechanic so you can get out of there. That's another use that this can be. This can just be a precautionary method if you want it to be. But as you can see, it's extremely simple, and there's not really any need for a tutorial. It's really just a need for a screenshot, so you can take your screenshots here, or if you want another look from the other side, even though this one's not as good, you can, but there's an option for you to take your screenshots. But anyway, there's only a few things you have to remember here. Is one, that this top block here has to be a upside down half slab, or else you will not be able to fit your block in here, and you'll just suffocate, and you won't be able to see anyone, and they won't be able to see you. Second, this block here has to be a transparent block, or of course you'll suffocate, and I recommend glass because that way you can see them, and of course they can see you, but you can see if you need to get out of there, if you should stay there or anything. Of course you can use pretty much any transparent block like glowstone where they can't see you and you can just sneak and pretend you're gone, but I just prefer using glass. So that's really the only thing you have to remember, and also you need to have this at wall height. So what I mean by that is this will be your floor level here, and then this will be across the wall here. So unfortunately I did not make this seamless with the floor, but that's not really that big of a problem, as you can see, because you'll be building this on the wall anyway, and I'm sure if you're in a PvP scenario you won't really be worrying about trying to find the button that's randomly on the floor. So anyway, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, please hit that like button, but anyway, goodbye from TNT Madness.